Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while, but your boy is back and he's trying to get on track. We're going to figure this shit out. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Tom, and welcome to another episode of the Tom Talks podcast. Like I was saying earlier, it's been a few weeks. I've been going through some things personally, and I don't feel like I want to talk about them right now. And I've just been busy. It's been a busy month for me, and honestly, I also lacked motivation to do it. So now I feel like I want to get back. Want to try to get back in the swing of things. And the first thing I want to talk about is that boy who's famous on Twitter, EDP445, aka the big black guy who always overreacts to whenever the Eagles suck or whatever, or whenever we win or whatever. He is officially a confirmed pedophile, and it is very, very sickening. And the craziest part about the whole thing to me is just the way he fucking says it nonchalantly. He says, "Yeah, I was messaging this 13-year-old girl," like it was nothing. Like it was just part of a normal conversation. Like it really felt like he had zero shame in what he was saying and what he was admitting to these people. Which, hold on, I don't even know if they are like an actual like predator hunters, like some Chris Hansen shit. Let's look this up real quick. EDP 445 caught being a pedo. I know this shit's on YouTube, but like I just want to see who is this it? Um Countless memes. Predator poachers. Yeah, that's I don't even know if they're like a real fucking group or whatever, but all I can say is that shit's insane to me. Just yeah, I mean, I'm glad he got. I know he was accused before in the past, but nothing ever got like I guess confirmed. But now there was these predator poacher guys actually had proof of him, like DMing this 13-year-old girl, and I'm just honestly, it's just like I said earlier, it's sick. It's disgusting. Hope that motherfucker rots in jail or however, whatever the fuck happens. And yeah, so other than that shitty news, let's move on to two players in the NFL that retired, and Julian Edelman and Alex Smith. Those two guys are not going to be a Hall of Famers, but they do have pretty remarkable careers. Julian Edelman won 3 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. He was also a big time playmaker in the playoffs. Even though his regular season stats don't mean shit, he came up big with for Tom Brady and the Patriots in the playoffs. And a lot of people argue that should be the reason he gets into the Hall of Fame, but actually, I'm like 99% sure there is a prerequisite that demands that the player makes at least one Pro Bowl and I think one All Pro team in order to be named to the Hall of Fame. And Julian Edelman was never really that big of a playmaking type of guy in the regular season, but when it came to playoff time, boom, he always came through with one of the craziest catches we've ever seen in Super Bowl history in Super Bowl 51. That was just every time I watch that, I still find that hard to believe he actually caught that ball. So I guess I'm happy for I guess I'm happy for him, happy for the Patriots fans or whatever. And Alex Smith was I don't know. I feel mixed. I feel very mixed about Alex Smith. Like he was a number one overall pick. It's not that he was a bad quarterback at all whatsoever. He was just, I think, for a number one overall pick, he was very disappointing. But to be fair, he did have early in his career, he did have about 5 different offensive coordinators in 5 years in his first 5 years in San Francisco. His best year, I believe, was with North Turner as the offensive coordinator. And then he gets traded to Kansas City after being benched by Colin Kaepernick. And after Colin leads him. Uh, no, hold on. I'm getting it mixed up. 2011, Jim Harbaugh comes in and he leads that team to the NFC Championship game. And then the next year after that, in 2012, either he got hurt or he got benched. And then that's when Colin Kaepernick led that team to the Super Bowl that year against the Ravens. And I believe he got traded that offseason. I don't remember off the top of my head when he got traded to San Francisco, but he became a Pro Bowl caliber player under Andy Reid, and honestly, and good for him, and that makes it better. Had a better career for him. He stayed there for what 20? I believe it was 2013 was his first year. Last year's 2017, so 4 years, and he taught Patrick Mahomes how to be a pro. So after Mahomes' rookie year, he gets traded to Washington, and obviously we know what happens from there. He starts off with Washington pretty well. I think it was what 6-2 halfway, something like a winning record, and then boom, the craziest injury of all time. I wouldn't say craziest, but like the most risky injury to have ever happened to an NFL player, or at least one of the most riskiest injuries. I believe Joe Theismann had something similar happen to him in the 80s. What was the 80s? Yeah, it was the 80s, yeah. But anyway, he like almost lost his whole leg. He didn't play it at all in 2019. And Ron Rivera was fucking terrified to play him in 2020, which honestly, you can't really blame him. I think I'd be terrified if I was a coach to start that quarterback. Bad knee, bad injury, that's just fucking terrifying. But he had a great. Other than that, he had a really good career, and the NFL should nickname the comeback player of the year trophy the Alex Smith Award, just because of that crazy heroic comeback. And a little fun fact for you: during that award ceremony, like where they give out all the rewards, I believe it was 50 votes for comeback player of the year. Alex Smith got 49 of them. And I believe someone voted for Ben Roethlisberger, who fucked up his shoulder in 2019 and had a pretty decent year in 2020 until like December, where it felt like his arm just died. But yeah, anyway, congrats to Alex Smith on a good career. Same with Julian Edelman. And I don't really have much to talk about, so this will be like the last thing, real quick. I guess this is a shorter episode. It's already 9:38, and I need to go to bed. But apparently I've read that Bad Baddie, the Catch Me Outside girl from all those years ago on Dr. Phil, she recently turned 18 and started an OnlyFans, which is disgusting in itself, in my opinion. And what's more disgusting is apparently she made $1 million in 6 hours. That's what she claims. I didn't follow up on that. But honestly, shit is just disgusting. It's disgusting on both ends. Like, I don't think an 18-year-old girl should just automatically, hey, you know what? I don't have any plans. Let me make an OnlyFans. I don't think any woman should do that just right away. I mean, it's easy. I get it. It's easy money. You can make pick make money off selling pictures of yourself or whatever. But like, I don't know. But honestly, I mean, I think it's more disgusting on the guy's end, just because it's like the fact that she just turned 18, and it's just very predatory of them. Just like, hey, you know what? She's finally legal. Boom. Let me pay her for her OnlyFans shit. Pay her some like pics of her feet or armpits or whatever you fucking weirdos are into. And honestly, and it's just disgusting. I'm tired of it. Like these weird ass dude. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It is the men's fault that OnlyFans is as big as it is, and especially happened in 2020. And I know one of the episodes I talked about that OnlyFans document I saw on Hulu, but I know people look for companionship and all that kind of shit, and they want someone to talk to, but don't do it on OnlyFans. I understand, like, we were all locked down, no one wanted to go out and date or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But things have been eased up since then. People still want to go out. They still have the urge to go out. And honestly, fuck it. I still really went out. I don't really wear a mask when I go out, and I don't give a shit if you judge me or not or call me a terrible human being. But I've been over this whole wear a mask mandate, whatever, da da da. But yeah, go out and meet people. Don't spend your money on OnlyFans. Fucking save that shit up. Buy a house. Invest. Do something better with that money. And actually, there is one more thing I want to talk about, though. One of my favorite rappers ever, DMX, has sadly passed away from an overdose. Shit's sad, man. I've bumped a lot of DMX this month. And I gotta say, one of my favorite songs of his has started to become one of my favorite songs is Stop Being Greedy. I've always loved Damien, and we all know Party Up in Here. We all know X Gon Give It To You. We all know the Rough Riders anthem. But that first, what was it, his first album? Let me check real quick. Let me check his choreography. I don't know if Darkest Hell Is Hot is the first album, or let's see what his first album was. I should know as a big DMX fan. So we're gonna find out. Uh he released two albums that year, both Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and It's Dark and Hell is Hot, both released in '98. I'm assuming that Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood came first, but honestly, this whole album, I think It's Dark and Hell is Hot is a much better album. I mean, they're both great albums, but just it still sucks that we lost a great MC in DMX. Unfortunately, he lost his battle with addiction. He was a funny ass dude. I look back on some interviews of his, and honestly, dude, he had me laughing. He could have been a stand up comedian if he wanted to. I think he's funny as hell. And he's got great fucking stories. So R.I.P. DMX. You are loved, and you're going to be missed. And I'll keep bumping your music for the rest of the time that I'm alive. And with that, that's it for this short episode. Have a good night. I have another episode of actually tomorrow. We're gonna do a mock draft for Thursday's NFL draft, just for the first round. So that's your little sneak peek right there. See you guys tomorrow.